Let's start sitting. We'll start our practice by sitting with some sitting. So Sukhasana, easy cross-legged pose. And it's up to you which side you have your cross on. If you feel like pushing yourself a little, change the cross. If you're comfortable where you are, stay where you are. And close your eyes. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice for today. We're starting right off with that, your Sankalpa for today, for your practice, for your day, for your week. Something that you need to have more of or feel more of in your life. And then as we take the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, so we're lengthening through the whole of your torso, through your neck, through your head. A little lift of the chin, so we have that length in the front of the body as well as the back and the sides. Just consciously noticing whether you feel that you're dropping your weight evenly into your sit bones, left and right. Whether you feel that you are lifting straight up or whether you've got a little bit of a lean to one side or the other. Making all those micro adjustments, noticing how you're sitting. Noticing the floor, the space that you're in. The air around you. And putting everything else aside. So we're bringing our sensations fully into the body, into the mind, into the spirit, how you're feeling here right now, in your mind, body, spirit, everything else. Just pushed away to the sides. If you need to, probably outside the door, outside the building. And then just come back to you, just you on your mat. Relax your shoulder blades. Take a little scan around the body, find the places that you like to, or maybe like to is the wrong word, you tend to hold on to. So it might be in your neck, might be your shoulders, might be in your belly, might be your jaw, maybe your glutes, maybe your legs. Relax, let go. Easing into our yoga practice today, nice and gently. Sending everything else away, bringing our focus firmly in towards ourselves. And let's do some breath work together. So we'll start off with a nice box breath. So attention to the top left corner. Then we go across to the right top corner. Then we'll go to the bottom right corner and over to the left. You might find with your eyes closed that as you do your movement in your mind, your eyes move too, that's fine. With each breath, we're drawing a line. So let's inhale through the nostrils, so top left to top right. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale down to bottom right. Inhale, drawing a line to the left corner. Exhale, drawing a line up to the starting point. Top left. Keep that breath going, keep that box going. If you lose count or you lose your place, just gently bring yourself back to that top left corner. Go at your own pace. Keep going at your pace. Keep your attention firmly on those lines. As you breathe in and out, make sure that that breath is as expansive as it possibly can be. Start to slow it down, draw those lines a little slower if you can, if it works for you. If it feels better to be exhaling through your mouth, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, your breath in is always in through your nostrils. Breath out, up to you. Now really exaggerate that breath, slow it down even more. Slow that line down. It doesn't have to be a big long line, it could be a small short line, just very slowly draw. As you breathe out, a sensation of completely emptying the body, the whole of that breath. As you breathe in, keeping it steady, all the way from the beginning of the breath to the end of the breath. If you're needing to gulp air in at the beginning of each breath, and maybe shorten the out breath, keep your control beautifully paced, steady and even. Last one, last box here. Well done for keeping your concentration. Then bringing yourself back to that box breath if your attention wanders. And well done. Keeping your eyes closed, just gently breathe in and out at ease. And then we're going to start to move. So gently opening your eyes, bringing your legs out in front of you. Let's have a little bit of a stretch. So stretch your feet out, bringing your toes back towards your face. That's that first stretch in the backs of the legs, all the way from your Achilles up to your hips. Really drawing those toes in quite firmly towards you while you send your heels away, and maybe even lifting up the right leg, extending and then putting it back down, lifting up the left leg, extending even further and putting it back down. And then relax. Let go of that tension in your toes and your feet. Give them a little bit of a wiggle. And then let's take the toes out to the side. So we're going to be taking little toe down towards the floor. So both of them, so little toes. So a little bit of rotation there in the knee and the hip. Nice little warm up. All the while keeping the crown of the head lifted up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Keeping that tension on, adding on, going a little bit further if you can. You should hopefully be able to feel that in your hips, maybe even in the backs of your legs, and then release. Bringing your big toes together, sliding the heels out, taking your big toes down towards the floor now. And again, noticing where you're feeling that. Going gently if you need to, for your hips or your knees. Just a little bit of a warm up right into the joints. Touch your toes together and release. Let's point the toes, so sending them far away from you. Still sitting up tall, still lifting your sternum, so we've got that length in the front of the body. The toes away as tightly as you can, so that you're almost, the sort of backs of your legs are coming away from the floor. And release. We're going to inhale the arms up together, so let's take them out to the sides on a nice big inhalation. And then exhale, folding forward. So Paschimottanasana, west facing pose, can be the most frustrating pose to do in the first thing in the morning, because there's not a lot of give there, not a lot of movement. But it's a wonderful posture to start with first thing in the morning. Either this way or in an easy forward bend. Or if you prefer, you can come into plow, which is the same thing, but upside down. With every in-breath, we draw away, lengthen the spine. With every out-breath, we're reaching forward a little bit further. Use your hands and your arms if appropriate. Don't pull too hard, go easy. Especially if this is your morning practice and you haven't been doing much beforehand. Hopefully you can feel that lovely stretch along the back of your legs and to your back as well. And dropping your head down, you can extend that stretch into the back of your neck. And then tucking your chin tightly into your chest, rolling to come up, keeping the chin tucked in. And then let's extend the arms out to the sides again on another lovely inhale, lifting the head. And then we're coming into a little bit of a seated back bend. So taking your gaze up towards your hands, palms together, and leaning back. So we're sending the sternum up. Nice bend in the back. Back of the head comes to the top of your back if you can, and sending your chin upwards towards the ceiling, towards your hands. Bringing your shoulders in quite tightly and firmly, sending your hands up as high as you possibly can. Quite strong on the core here. Chin up to the ceiling. And then release, coming all the way back down, nice and slow and steady. Feet in, coming into Baddha Konasana. So our warm-up is lovely and gentle this morning, nice and soft and easy, but deep as you want to make it as well. So bringing the heels in as close to your body as you can, taking your knees close to the mat as you can, and at the same time having that nice lift and length in the spine. So we're not collapsing forwards yet. We're long in the spine, crown of the head lifted up, and extending those knees out to the sides. Nice big stretch, nice hip opener. But it's still keeping that lovely breath going. If you find during your practice today, because we started with box breath, if you find your attention wandering and going off to try and solve other problems, bring yourself back to your box breath. It's a really lovely breath to bring concentration firmly inwards, because you have to keep track of where you're going with that one. So we're going to come into a bit of a side bend. So we'll keep the right leg in, take the left leg out. And with one foot just in towards the body, it's sometimes a lot easier to bring that foot really close in. If you can bring it a little closer, go ahead and do that. And then maybe you also want to try and turn the top of your foot towards the floor. Right knee extended out in a bend and a fold. And again, still keeping that nice length in the spine. A little bit of engagement in the core, a little bit of engagement in the belly, around the torso. And we're going to slide down the left leg. So left hand, left leg, sliding down as far as is comfortable for you. So start on the left side with your focus, squeezing in. So as if you're trying to take your rib cage down towards that left hip bone, and then we'll extend out onto the right side. So we're going to be stretching the right arm up. When you take your right arm up and you extend the whole right side of that body stretch, you'll be able to give yourself a little bit more crunch on the left. So either straight up with that arm, or if you wish to bring it over, but if you do bring it over, be careful that you don't take your shoulder out of line and bring it forwards, or maybe even backwards if you're very double jointed in your shoulders. Stay in line. and breathe. If you haven't done much stretching yet today, that can feel really intense in the right hip, the right side of your body, even up into the ribs. Remember to breathe. Lovely big breaths. Legs are relaxed here. If you're squeezing into the legs, ease off a little, give yourself some space so you can keep them completely relaxed. You've also got a nice little bit of a stealth stretch through the back of the left leg going on here as well. And then we're going to lift to come out slowly and swap legs. So right leg comes out, left leg comes in. Give that a little bit of a helping hand. Turn it over if appropriate. Check your posture is lifted and long. And then we're going to be sliding down the right leg. So remember, let's slide first. Don't worry about the left side. And we're going to squeeze into the right side. So again, taking the right ribs down towards that hip, lengthening in the whole of that left side as you do it. And then we're going to take the arm up. So left arm comes up last. Lovely. We're just keeping the head gazing forwards. We're not worrying too much about, or we're not worrying the neck. We're keeping the neck nice and steady. Can you fold a little further to your right and at the same time lift a little higher with those left fingers up towards the ceiling, keeping your left sit bone beautifully grounded. Relax your toes, relax your legs, relax your jaw as well here. We're squeezing into the right side, we're stretching into the left. And we're going to take a nice in-breath to come out. So lifting up now, breathing in. Slowly out. Well done. Then both legs are wide. Hands to the floor in front of you. And we are playing with this one. So keep it dynamic, moving forward and coming away from the floor. So taking your hands to the floor, palms flat to the floor, a little bit of weight into your hands. So you can control how much of this movement is coming into your arms or is being controlled by your arms and how much is being controlled by your legs. You can hover your hands using your legs and your torso to come backwards and forwards, or bring your hands forward and use your hands. Very long-winded way of putting that, but hopefully that makes sense. So we're intensifying the stretch, coming forward, and then easing off. At the same time as coming forward, we're going to relax the legs. So relax your toes, relax your thighs. Last one, folding forward. And moving away. Bringing your legs together. We're going to come up to standing. So either come up to standing, however works for you, or come up via a squat. So a nice easy squat. Coming up into an easy forward fold or straight into forward fold. So this is our first inversion of the day. Allow your arms to be loose and maybe swing them from side to side. Wrap your arms around each other, lengthen through your neck, let the weight of your head gently pull all those little muscles in your neck, the top of your body. If you're comfortable here and you feel grounded and steady, you can close your eyes and lift your sit bones. So we're stretching out in the backs of the legs. Relax your belly, relax your jaw. And then we're uncurling to come up. So we're coming all the way up to standing, nice and slow. Think about controlling that movement with your thigh muscles. Pushing down into the floor with the soles of your feet nice and strong. Well done. Let's come into a little warrior sequence. So we're going to take the legs wide. We'll start off with our warrior one. Right toes out. Turn your hips to face the narrow end of your mat. You're going to swoop the arms up and bend that right knee. Left heel comes off or twists round, whatever works for you. Breathe, lift your chest, lift your sternum. Elbows facing in towards each other, hands facing towards each other. Fingertips lifted up towards the ceiling, nice and strong. Think about squeezing that left glute, the left leg out behind you. Gently pulling your belly in. At the same time, lifting your sternum, giving yourself space in the front of your body. Not too much of a curl in the back. This is strong and upright posture today. Swooping the arms down and coming over to the same posture on the other side. Set yourself up exactly how you were. Remembering to squeeze into that right glute now. Hips lowering down towards the floor. Gaze slightly lifted. Shoulders are wide and strong, arms engaged. Squeeze all the muscles in your arms. And breathe, 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 breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taking the arms out to the side, legs are out to the sides anyway. Bring yourself to face forward. Halfway bend into Prasarita Padadasa. Nice swan dive here. Just come halfway. Lift your kneecaps. A little bit of a bend in the knees. A micro bend. Extending the crown of your head forwards. Taking your fingertips as far out either side of you as you can, as far away from each other. Pressing into the floor with the soles of your feet evenly. If you're starting to roll your feet inwards, try to press down the whole of the sole of each foot. And keeping your arms extended out, lifting, using the strength in your legs, not rounding the back. Back stays straight throughout. Well done. And then we are taking ourselves into our warrior two. So right foot out to the side, hips stay where they are. And we're going to just slide over. Change the space between your feet if you need to. And your gaze is your middle finger of your right hand. Chin firmly over your right shoulder. We're taking the left hand down now, right hand comes up. straight up towards the sky. Squeezing into that left side, coming all the way up now, taking a bend. A lean onto the right thigh with the right elbow, and left arm comes up and over to make a straight line from your heel on the outer edge of your foot up to your fingertips. And breathe. We're going to be lifting now to come out. Got a very slippery mat today, so I'm going to be fooling around all over the place here. Left feet. Yeah, we've all got one left foot, so between us we've got lots of left feet. Left feet pointing out, chin comes to the left shoulder, and then we're taking a little bit of a bend into our warrior two on the other side. Remember to breathe. And then we're taking the right hand down to the right leg. Left hand reaching up high. Squeeze now into the right side of your body, opening up in the left. Legs are strong. And then we're going for that lovely lean. So left arm to left thigh, right arm overhead. On the diagonal. This is where you might be able to sink your hips a little lower with that nice support through the right arm. Nope, left arm. I think COVID has addled my brain even more. And then we're going to be lifting up to come out. Taking the feet nice and far apart, sliding the hands down the legs into our inversion. Top of your head, crown of your head towards the floor. If you're comfortable here and you've got a good sense of balance, you can close your eyes. Focus in on the breath. You may have been holding your breath a little in that last little sequence that we did together. Here's a chance to slow down the breath and deepen the inhale. Slow down the exhale. Noticing any changes in pressure in your face, in your scalp, behind your eyes. Making sure that we're keeping everything working, everything elastic. Using all those vessels, putting them under a little bit of stress, a little bit of pressure, testing the system, making it stronger. What we use in our bodies automatically fortify, repair, make stronger. What we don't use, they don't bother with fortifying, because what's the point? It might be something that you never use again. So if you don't use it, you will lose it. And let's take our hands to our lower backs. So either clasp your hands together or just rest them on your lower back. Just want to stay in this extension forward, or this forward bend a little longer. So we'll play with the arms and warm up the shoulders here. So taking the hands out behind you, rolling your shoulders out to the sides and then behind. Lifting your hands away. Adding on to the inversion, taking the arms up towards the sky. A little bit of a bend in the knee. Try not to lock the legs here. Keeping the legs dynamic. So feel as if you are drawing your heels towards each other, drawing your thighs towards each other, even as they stay absolutely still. And we're going to roll to come out, keeping the arms up until the last possible moment, bringing your head up, arms are still high, and then lowering your arms down, bringing them around, give yourself a big hug. So one arm over the other, find your shoulder blades, wrap your hand over your shoulder blades. So your right hand is spread out over your left hand spread out over your right, and give yourself a big hug. Drop your chin if there's space. And release. This time we're taking the arms out wide, really wide as you can. Feel as if you're trying to pin your shoulder blades together, looking up towards the sky, taking a deep inhale and exhale. Bring your arms round, opposite arm goes on top this time. Holding onto your shoulder blades, curling yourself round into a tiny little ball. Maybe walking your feet in a little closer if you need to. And this time we're curling around completely. So taking your chin to your chest, and then slowly using your control, using the strength in your legs and your torso, curling around, taking your head down towards the floor, and release. Right hand comes to right foot, left hand comes to left foot, and then we swap. So when we don't swap, because we're not going to take the left hand to the right foot, we're taking the right hand to the left foot. Left hand coming all the way up. So another lovely twist. And extension in the backs of the legs at the same time. And a little bit of an inversion. So head stays low. We are twisting and inverting and stretching. Keep your hips level if you can. There's a temptation always to slide over to the left side. Try to keep them level. And then we're swapping around so that right hand will come all the way up, left hand holding onto your right foot. For a little bit of purchase, for a little bit of pull. If you do pull on that foot, you'll hopefully feel it in the side of your body, up under the arm. Remember, a little bit of a bend in the knees. And remember to breathe. All the way back down now, coming into downward facing dog. So we can bring the feet a little closer together. Hips might be happy about that one. A little bit of a change. And now we're bringing some work into the shoulders. Shoulders and neck and upper back. Now set yourself up in your downward facing dog, how you like to be in your downward facing dog. The measurements or the distances that work for you, but send your sit bones up to the ceiling. Always extending into the backs of your legs. Shoulders are wide. Think about being strong and broad at the same time. Ease off any tension in your face, your jaw, your neck, your head. They're completely at rest and at ease here. And then we're going to come up onto tiptoes, so bringing yourself up onto your toes. Changing that, easing off the stretch in the backs of the legs a little here. And we're going to go for a hover. So bringing your knees towards the mat. Bringing yourself into almost tabletop position. The knees are off the mat. We're having a hover. Again, feel that broadness in your shoulders. Feel that strength in your torso. Pushing the floor away with your fingertips, with the whole of the flat of the palm of your hand. And release, taking the knees down, bringing your big toes together, taking your knees away from each other or leaving them where they are. We're coming into a lovely pose of humility or balasana. So sliding your hips back to your heels, lifting a little to lengthen the torso, and then laying your torso down, bringing your forehead to the mat, bringing your forearms to the mat as well. If you want to relax into your shoulders a little more, taking your hands either side of you, palms facing upwards. In balasana, think about breathing into the sides of your body. Think about taking maybe smaller breaths more frequently. Find your pace here. When we're in such a compressed situation with our chests, we have to adapt. Maybe you want to try and feel like you're breathing into the back of your body, into your throat, into your neck. So a nice little massage of the internal organs. And then we're coming into our cat and cow and gun dog combination. So I'm going to look up, slide the hands forward, come into tabletop position, straight into cat and cow. Use your breath. So as we come into our cow, we're breathing in. As we come into cat, a nice long breath with the whole of the length of the movement. So as you move, you breathe. Brief pause at the end point. So move at your own pace. You know your cat-cow combination so well. Enjoy the movement. Take your focus to different parts of your spine. Take your attention to your shoulders and your sit bones. Feel strong in your torso as you control the movement from there. And last round, before coming into your tabletop position once more. Coming into fire hydrant to start with. If your wrists are starting to feel tired, you can come up onto knuckles. Sometimes that helps give you a break, or you can alternate between the two, up to you. We're taking the right leg out to the side. Your heel stays in line with your knee. Noticing that change in weight, having to push more down into the right hand than the left here to keep your balance. Lifting, squeezing into the glutes, keeping your torso nice and engaged. Can you lift a little higher with that right leg? A little higher still. And bringing it back down. Taking the left leg out straight away. No break here. So head, neck, and back in line. Shoulders are broad. Left leg lifted out to the side. Now we have our weight much more into the left arm. Can you lift a little higher? A little higher still. And bring your leg back down. Knees firmly in together, heels together. Send yourself back into Balasana. This time we're tucked up into a little ball as tightly as possible. Bring your forehead down to the mat. Arms are out in front, but release tension and pressure off your arms. Easy, relaxed posture. We're going to come from here into puppy. Now do a nice stretch across the chest. And then we'll come into gun dog from there. So we're looking forwards, the hands. Torso and thighs stay welded together for now. Sliding the hands forward, bringing your bottom up into the air. Bottom up, chin creeps forward. Starting to notice that pressure on your shoulders. So we're opening up under the arms. And then sliding forward maybe a little more, allowing your torso and thighs to come away from each other, and taking your chest to the floor. Chin is on the floor, chest is on the floor, hips are up in the air, arms are reaching forwards. Jolly good stretch under the arms. Very, very, very important area to have lots of circulation, lots of movement. This can feel really tight and uncomfortable across the tops of your shoulders, especially if you've been doing some weight-bearing exercises or some strengthening or some lifting. And then we're going to slide all the way forwards, coming to resting on the floor, on your front, taking your arms in, so elbows in towards the body, hands flat to the floor, and we're just a little bit of an open across the chest. So send your shoulders away from each other, send your sternum forward, and we're in Sphinx here before we go into our gun dog. We just want to do a little bit more work on the chest and a little bit more of a twist, not a twist, an opening in the back. Don't know where twist came from. I think I was looking at the twisty curtain in front of me. So drawing your elbows back towards your hips, sending your chest forward, keeping your belly flat to the floor as you try to slide your chest forwards. Hopefully feeling that in your shoulder blades, in your upper arms. Remembering to breathe. Tucking your toes under, tucking your hands back, flat to the floor, just by your shoulders, bringing yourself up into a nice long plank. So let's hold this plank for a moment as we breathe. Nice and deep and slow, completely unrestricted for a moment. And then bringing your knees in. And here we are, ready for our gun dog at last. We got there. We just went via a few other creatures. I was going to say animals, but Sphinx, I think creatures is probably better. So left side is going to be lifting on the left hand, right hand firmly into the floor, and we're going to be lifting the right leg. So the left leg is firmly into the floor. Set yourself up nice and strong, firm, solid back, engaged core, and we're lifting left arm, right leg. Not lifting the right hip and not lifting the left shoulder. Shoulders stay in line, hips stay in line. Don't sink the belly. No hammocks. Make sure you're lifting that left arm in line with your head. And then coming back. Same thing on the other side. So right arm lifted, left leg lifted. Send those right fingertips out as far as you can. And your left toes. And then coming back down. Well done. Taking your knees wide, big toes are together. This time sinking back with your torso between your legs, bringing your chest down towards the floor, forehead to the mat. Arms out in front of you, but flat to the mat as much as possible, relaxed. Take a nice round of breath here. And then bringing yourself up onto forearms, knees together. We're taking the left arm underneath the right. So bringing yourself up almost into a tabletop position. Going to thread the needle. So left arm goes into that space. Bringing yourself down to the top of your arm. Lying on your left shoulder. So we're lying quite firmly on the left shoulder. Again, we're compressing into that rich lymphatic area under the left arm. We're also getting a little bit of a twist. If you want to extend further, you send your left arm further through the gap. Right hand is flat to the floor, and you can push into the floor to give yourself a little bit more twist in the spine. Nice twist in the torso too. And then let's come back up. Back into tabletop position, and then we're going to go over to the other side. So we're taking the right hand, threading it through, all the way through, coming to lie on that right shoulder. So let's have a squish into the right shoulder first. Hips are up towards the sky. So really squeezing into that right shoulder now. And then pressing the left hand into the floor, taking the shoulder a little bit further under, bringing it into a bit more of a twist. So maybe pushing into the left hand. Giving yourself a twist in the torso. We've done quite a lot of nice twists and side body opening. Bit of movement in the spine. A little bit of work into the shoulders, into the hips. And we warmed up the legs right to begin with. And let's release coming off. We're bringing ourselves back into that lovely Paschimottanasana. So bring your feet forward, sitting back onto your feet, sending your legs out in front of you. Toes drawing towards your face. Make sure you have space. Sit bones flat to the floor, moving any flesh aside if you need to get that nice sensation of your sit bones being firmly grounded, sitting up tall, crown of the head lifted, and then extending forward. So very simple, straightforward Paschimottanasana. Extending forwards. As you move with your breath, moving with your torso, so exaggerating the movements perhaps a little. Exhaling to fold, inhaling to come away. Holding on to your legs or your feet or your toes, whatever works for you, to help stretch your arms, stretch your torso, stretch out the whole of the posterior chain of the body. Closing your eyes, bringing your attention completely in towards yourself. Uncurling to come up. We're coming into our last little bit of our practice together. So start to think about bringing that focus back to your breath, coming into a balance, coming up into Navasana. Arms either side or touching if you need to be, holding on a little to each leg. Back straight, lift your sternum, head, neck and back in line if you can, and taking the right leg down. Right leg goes down, keeping your focus on those right toes, and then we're taking the right leg just gently out to the side, back up again, and then over. So we're finishing with a box here as well. Left leg goes down, out to the side, up again, back to join. One more time. Right leg down, hover, out to the side, hover, up, level, but out to the side, and then back together. Last one. Left leg down, out to the side, all the way up, back together. Bring yourself in for a hug, heels still off the floor. There you go, well done. So forehead to knees. A little bit of balance, a little bit of breath. Close your eyes if you can. And then we're coming down to lying on the floor. So holding onto your knees here, leaning back. So we're holding on, leaning back. We're going to have a lovely stretch across the backs of the shoulders. We're using our own legs here to push against our arms. So hands are either clasped or your hand holding onto your knees. Either way, you're getting that nice big stretch across your shoulders before releasing and then coming down to lying on your mat. Make sure you have enough space. Coming down to your mat. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Well done. A little bit of a rock from side to side. Massage into that lower back. That feels really lovely. Nice and slow, coming over to each hip in turn, and then rolling back to the midpoint. Taking your arms out wide, so shoulders flat to the floor, pressing into the floor, enjoying that feeling of support there. And then we're going to take the legs over to the right side. Watch out for that left shoulder. Keep it on the mat. And then turn in the opposite direction to your legs with your head. Start to bring your focus inwards. Close your eyes. Bring your head back to center, bringing your knees skimming across. Let's go over to the other side. Same thing on the side. Oh, and we have blue skies and sunshine today. So as we breathe in and out, imagine that sunshine and warmth going into every cell of your body. Start to lengthen and deepen and soften the breath. Coming back to center. One last lovely hug. And then bringing yourself into your Shavasana. So find your ease and comfort in your Shavasana. If you're not comfortable lying on your back, you can always lie on your side or use a cushion or a pillow to adjust. If you get an itch it, don't lie there being distracted by body discomfort. Find your comfort in your body so you can just allow your mind to be clear and completely at rest and at peace. Breathing in, taking that breath right down into your toes, into your fingertips, into the whole of the back of your body, into the front of your body and to the sides. Letting go of each breath completely so you are totally empty. And then pausing a moment before filling up completely and entirely with the next breath. Taking your breath into its slowest, deepest possible ranges. Allowing that breath to fill your entire body with light and warmth and peace and calm. And with every out breath, letting go, sinking a little deeper, feeling a little calmer, feeling a lot stronger. Breathing in, taking that breath around your whole body, behind your eyes, into the crown of your head, into your heels, to the palms of your hands. Radiating energy out from every little bit of you and every part of you, drawing that energy in from around you. Keeping your eyes closed, looking at the backs of your eyelids. Noticing what you can see there, colors or shapes or movement or stillness. Just noticing and observing what you can see, starting to hear what you can hear around you. Maybe it's the sound of your own breath coming and going. Maybe you can hear your pulse. Maybe you can hear birds. Starting to feel the air on your body, noticing where you are. Keeping your eyes closed, gently coming to lie on your right side when you're ready. So keeping that steady, slow, even breath, coming and going easily, strong, powerful, easy, even breath work, all the way through to the end of your practice. Sitting up tall, sit bones, beautifully grounded into the floor, into the earth, into the world. Crown of the head lifted, bringing your hands to your chest, pressing your right hand into your left into your right, feeling that strength across your arms, across your shoulders, feeling that power in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. And then let's just rub the hands together, get some warmth, and then cup them over your eyes, taking a deep breath in, opening your eyes into that space. As you exhale, floating your hands back to heart center and namaste. Thank you very much for joining you on the mat, all of you in one place. And thank you for joining me.